Hello and welcome to my third video on psychiatry. First, to make the very important point in PTSD is that there is a fight or flight response and that cannot be ignited without the perception of real danger. Whether it is obvious or subliminal, that is the giveaway signal that there is a cheat involved. And when we consider the reality of the mind-body connection, then it is understandable why with a cheat, where there is a threat involved, a hidden threat, so that the person feels fear, plus ideas presented that the person believes are their own thinking, they will then feel as if they are re-experiencing the traumatic event. I will try to explain that in this video. In most cheats, the fight or flight response is aimed to have the person believe that they are feeling a higher emotional charge, one that we normally feel with acceptance of something or agreement with something. And that's why the threat is concealed or hidden. So they are not aware that they are feeling fear. In PTSD, or where the person has already experienced a trauma, it's not an issue then to get them to believe the ideas. The ideas already depict something that has already happened to them in the past. So in this case, the threat that is made, while still hidden, is aimed to have the person to actually experience fear. So when the ideas are mentally presented, and that has to be done by somebody who already knows about the trauma or was involved in the trauma. So when the ideas are mentally presented, the ideas are already depicting some awful traumatic event. They don't need to be convinced of the ideas. They don't need to be led to believe the ideas. They already have experienced that. So with those ideas, they experience the fear. Then the person experiencing fear, together with thoughts that depict what happened, or even thoughts that depict what was said at the time, will fully acknowledge that the higher emotional charge that they're feeling is really fear. So that would enhance the fear reaction and as well the association with the ideas. Will feel very much so that they are reliving that past traumatic event. The fear is not a pathological manifestation owing to the memories of the traumatic event, as is supposed by the scientists. And shame on them, there is clear evidence that they should see and appreciate. And that is that there is a declined prefrontal cortex. The reasoning part of the brain, the cognitive function in the brain, is declined, and that happens with the fight or flight response. Fear, in other words. They are supposing that this is due to the traumatic event, the past traumatic event, and that the declined prefrontal cortex then fails to regulate what they see as overreaction of the amygdala. Now, this is not the case. Furthermore, studies have shown that not all trauma victims have a smaller hippocampus. Only those who have developed PTSD, and the ones that have recovered from PTSD are seen to have once again a normal hippocampus. So the evidence strongly suggests that the trauma could not have caused the smaller hippocampus. It's caused by the way the person is abused in the present. It's not a disorder. They haven't developed a mental condition. They are being abused. Plain and simple. So how do we overcome the abuse? There's two main things to do. Firstly, knowing that they are being abused, knowing what's happening, in other words, that there is a hidden threat. The fear that they feel has nothing to do with the ideas. Furthermore, the threat is really Mickey Mouse, because while they are posing a threat, they do not aim to carry it out. It is done purely and utterly and only for effect. They want to influence the person to get them to feel what will appear to be a higher emotional charge, one that we normally feel with acceptance of something or agreement with something. If you practice mindfulness, being present in the moment with whatever you happen to be doing throughout the day, throughout your life, day and night, you will find that you will suddenly feel a higher reactivity in your body. You will suddenly feel hot, for instance. That is really your reaction to the concealed threat, the hidden threat. Only then do they present the ideas. So once the ideas are presented, of course, then you identify your feeling as the feeling of fear. So you can catch it very early on. Secondly, ground yourself. So being able to remain in the present is very important. They want you carried away in the past. So find a way to ground yourself. Touch something, look at something, do something that puts you fair and square in the present. And then you can show them the middle finger animated. You can say, that was in the past. I'm here in the present. I survived. I've been through the adversity and I survived. Stronger, better than ever. And then you can laugh at them. Ha 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 ha. And being able to ground themselves and stand against it is the solution. They can recover without any drugs. Thank you for watching my video.